the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins. By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit to do and welcome into more important issues. It is Sunday, December 19th. I've got good news and I've got great news. Good news, Landon. Tennessee
I'm listening.
is still number one in the country after a win at Illinois last night. Great news. That was also great news. I have more great news. I have more good news, great news. Good news, Tennessee goes back north to another Big Ten school and plays in a college football playoff this Saturday. That's the great news, too. That's more great news. I had good news, great news 2 times over.
I thought you were going to say like that's a little foreshadowing for Saturday.
I've already said on the voluntary reaction show after we beat Miami, said Tennessee's going to go Saturday and beat Illinois. That's just what Tennessee does. In December, they go north to Big Ten territory and they win. That's just what Tennessee does.
I like that.
We'll see, but we know the outcome now.
Yeah, just do what the basketball team did.
Take
It's
Tennessee.
easy.
Bet on Tennessee. Don't even do it responsibly. Just do it.
Yeah, they laid the path for you. Just go ahead and just follow the lead.
What a night! How much fun is that? They're 10-0
For this first time since 99, 2000, right?
I don't remember the years off the top of my head now, but Tennessee is the last remaining school with an undefeated men's and women's team. And that is the best start, I believe. If I quickly scanned over that, so I am kind of free. You know, this is I wouldn't even call it research. I just happen to see it. That is the best start in Lady Vol history.
That seems crazy.
It does. I wonder if it's just so many tough preseason matchups or something, or not preseason, that's not the right word, but non-conference matchups made that so. And I did not do the research. I just saw a post about it, and now here you are hearing it. If it's correct information, you can thank me later. If it's not, I'm free of blame. I did not say it originally. But yeah, that's pretty. We're living in the good times, Landon. College football playoff this Saturday. 2 undefeated teams. Excel World Championship, whatever that is. Still pretty sick. We're coming. I mean, let's not forget this very same year, Tennessee won a national championship in baseball. Let us not forget.
Yeah, I don't think I want 2024 to end.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? I mean, North Carolina Central is bad, but the Lady Vols hitting 33s.
Yeah, they almost lapped them. I mean, I guess technically they did lap them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called when you win by over 100, but they almost did that. They won by 80.
I think you shut down your whole program if that happens.
I don't know, man. I think it's just part of playing the Lady Vols. I think they just knew what was going to happen. Like that was not unexpected.
I know there wasn't a ton of expectation with the Lady Vols, but I do want to Alabama gets praise for their football program, and any year they could lose 8 games and still be ranked in the top 25. Why the heck was the Lady Vols not ranked up until last week.
Yeah. I don't know. And I mean, I don't know where they'll be this time around. I realize like their schedule we haven't seen them play a whole host of quality teams.
Sure.
But also they're beating teams by 80
points
right now. Without looking at rankings, I'm just going to say that's really good. And I don't know who's much better than them at this moment. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no one, Landon. 2025 national championship is the Lady Vols to lose.
Yeah, they the lowest amount they've scored so far this season is 78 points. They scored that on number 17 Iowa and won by 10.
I would say that's pretty good. I would say you're seeing some good stuff from that team. I wanted to look. I just want to look at the rankings. There's a 9-2 team ranked 10 spots ahead of them. Okay, they lost to South Carolina, and they lost to an 18th ranked Maryland, who is number 7 now. Still interesting. 2 losses. That's still interesting.
Yeah,
they'll be there eventually. We really need the men to hold out number 1. So in SEC play, or just not, I mean, they don't have to hold out number 1 necessarily, but be around so we can have 2 number 1 ranked teams.
Never lost.
Never lost.
It's true right now. So yeah, let's just keep rolling.
Can I float out a possibility? I know it won't happen, so I don't feel like I'm jinxing it by saying it, but can I float out a possibility?
Yeah.
So obviously Tennessee is in the conversation for a college football national championship. Like they're there. You have the Lady Vols, who are currently undefeated. The men are ranked number 1 and undefeated. It's a non-zero chance Tennessee could win a national championship in baseball, both basketball programs and football. And normally you could say at the beginning of the year, just outright, you could just say that's a possibility, like it is. But now football is just a few games away. Basketball looks like at least one of the top teams, currently the top team.
Mm-hmm. Feels good.
We might as well say it because we're not ever going to get to say it. But it'd be pretty sick if we did.
It's a clean sweep, huh?
If you think Tennessee's insufferable, let us win in 4 different sports in a calendar year.
Yeah.
Net insufferable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say to any fan base out there, if you did that, you have the right to be insufferable.
There are a lot of fans out there that are insufferable that aren't anywhere close to that. So yeah,
yes.
I agree.
Yes. And I don't know where we're at. I wonder what's the athletic directors cup called? Because we also have had a lot of successful programs.
It's the Directors Cup, right?
Is it just called the Director? Is it the Capital One Directors Cup?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it is. Unless they changed it.
I mean,
I don't see Capital One. I don't know where Tennessee finished on that. I know Tennessee doesn't have a whole lot of. Like I know a lot of years it's dominated by like Pac-12s, people that have a ton of Olympic sports.
But it's got to be weighed differently, right? You would think. I don't know if it is or not. I would just think.
I think so, but I still think they have more opportunities to capture points. I don't know exactly how it works. So there are 2 different cups. There's the Capital One Cup and the NACDA Directors Cup. The NACDA Directors Cup weighs each sport equally, and the Capital One Cup employs a 2-tiered scoring system in which high-profile sports are valued more highly than the others. So there you go. But interesting enough, Landon, the higher sports, baseball, football, men's basketball, and women's basketball. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points to capture.
racking them up. It feels good. I mean, last night was a lot of fun. That was a tough environment to go into. And I mean, I didn't get to watch all of it, but I did get to rewatch some of it earlier today and some last night. We were at a wedding, so it was very much watch on your phone. Don't really get to listen a whole lot, but officiating was trash from what I saw. Shocker, I know, but Tennessee is basically in foul trouble the entire game. Okpara was basically a non-factor. He only played 9 minutes. Chaz Lanier, I think, fouled out with 4 minutes left, something like that. And then Zakai played 6 minutes in the second half.
Yeah, that's...
You know the craziest part of it, though? With those two guys on the bench, Tennessee, 0 turnovers in the second half.
That is a wild stat. Your leaders, your guys that would be responsible for that stat if it occurred are not there. That's one of the crazier ones.
0. Yep.
I mean, to know what we've seen of Zakai Ziegler lately, I think we should probably thank the refs. At least a lot of the fans should thank the refs. I know going after the Miami game, a lot of people were saying Zakai can't sustain 35, 37-minute games. Well, he only played 25 minutes last night. So we should write those refs a thank you card and move on.
Yep.
He was only allowed to play 25 last night. And I want to get your thoughts. And I'm sure you might, if you had it for a fail or something, I do apologize. But the Illinois head coach, don't even know his name. I'm not going to care to learn. He says before the timeout, before the foul shot, he says this guy, Jordan Gainey, doesn't want to handle the ball. Walks through a scenario that they have to defend him so they can't handle the ball comfortably. I mean, I think if the tape you kind of have on him from last year, I don't think that's wrong. I think it's probably an appropriate scouting report.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows how much better he's gotten. That's got to suck as that coach knowing you said that in that timeout.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you're mic'd up, and
yeah,
and that's posted everywhere. Yeah, that's.
I don't know if I disagree with the scouting report though.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, you look at Zakai, you're and he's on your bench. He only plays 6 minutes in the second half. You think that's blood in the water? They're done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he just took off. I will go ahead and start the parade for the apology tour for Jordan Gainey.
You're gonna head this one up.
There was a lot of, including myself, I was not a huge Jordan Gainey fan last year. I thought he shot the shots that he took it seemed kind of forced last year. Just, I know we talked about it, I think last episode about him. Just, he would go out there and it just felt like he just had to hit a 3. And that was the only time he was going to score if he hit a 3. Well, last night he gets to the free throw line, makes 8 of 9 from there, 3 of 6 from 3. I mean, he was just all, including the last play. The last play, you get your best player the basketball, and last night that guy was Jordan Gainey.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back into those words where they may be a little disrespectful, sure, but it just looks real bad when you're mic'd up. And you talked about, of course, we discussed Jordan Gainey and his improvement, how the shots don't feel as forced. I think he's improved his ball. This is a rare occurrence, I hope. You're not going to see Zakai Ziegler in foul trouble very often. You're certainly not going to see him foul out of games very often. The only time Jordan Gainey is going to be bringing the ball up the court is Chaz Lanier's out, who fouled out last night as well. Or Zakai Ziegler's out. Well, he may be bringing the ball up with Chaz Lanier in the game, but he won't be the primary point. He won't be the guy who's tasked with handling the ball full time if Zakai is out. So to step up big in that, probably not a ton. I mean, we've seen it this year. He hasn't been asked to do it a lot, and then gets kind of thrown into that environment and comes down to a buzzer beater shot, and the kid answers. Doesn't seem to waver at all. He goes 90 feet with no doubt where he was going the whole time.
Against a lottery pick.
Right. And we were So you mentioned it. We were watching it on phones.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they reviewed. I could tell from the phone. I just watched the scoreboard light that it was good. Like there was zero question. Were they
They're
reviewing how much time was left?
Yeah, if there was any time left.
But if there's 0.1 second on the clock, isn't that assumed that, for example, like, isn't there a certain amount of time that the other team to score?
It's like point. Is it 0.4 or
Something
like that? Yeah.
It turned red as it was falling through the net.
Mhm.
There's no time. It just goes into there's way too many times we go to the monitor in sports.
Yeah.
But we don't go to the monitor for everything. So why are we doing this like this? I didn't know what they were doing. I expected some shenanigans to occur there.
Also, the foul on Jamon Mashak at the end there was
tough.
Atrocious.
I mean, I wouldn't have called a charge either. That's a no call. He didn't impede him at all. I mean, you could argue it was an offensive foul, but that's a no call. That's the problem, is in those situations, they think they got to blow their whistle for something.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, if the defense doesn't, have any contact with if they don't initiate contact, there's no foul to be called. So where did you see contact?
Yeah.
Initiated by the defensive player. You did not. So why did you blow your whistle?
Yeah, it's insane. Again,
it just goes 23 seconds.
Okay. We're gonna Wayne. Just so you know, we're gonna fully believe you and not do any research for our own. We just
yeah.
Done. Wayne said 0.3. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep. We have faith in you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't get to watch the game intently, and I haven't rewatched it yet. I have rewatched that final possession a few times. And then hearing Rick Barnes go on a soap opera about it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Jordan Gainey does that as soon as they ask him about it. He starts kind of like, I don't know, he does one of these. Like he's like, I've heard this every time we practice this play. I have to hear this story. Why did you mention that?
Yeah.
He's like, please don't. It's like when someone might ask a grandparent a question, and you're like, yep, that just started a 30-minute story. We're going to be here for a while. But yeah, there were 45 fouls total called in this game. That's an embarrassment for basketball. Is Zach Edey playing again? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
That is another thing going into fouls. Jordan Gainey was 8 and 9 from the free throw line.
Yeah, every one of them crucial.
That's a way to play winning basketball. Chaz Lanier, 5 of 9. Struggled at the free throw line. That's something interesting, and I don't know.
64 free throws is way too many free throws in a game where the combined team scores 130 points.
Yeah, I think
that's crazy.
I can't imagine either team was pleased with the way the game was officiated, because it's, even if you're getting the calls, which it evened out at the end, which it's pretty amazing how that always works out. They can get it even. It's pretty remarkable. But you leave that game and you just know it was an ugly game of basketball when that many fouls were called.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's no flow to it at all. Even when you're watching it at the end, and usually the end of basketball games are just so difficult to watch. But it was kind of like the whole game was like that.
Yeah.
There was no like continuance of basketball. It was just whistle here, stop here, whistle. I mean, it was just too much.
Did you watch the end of that Michigan-Arkansas game the other night after us? Brother, they went to the monitor like 5 possessions in a row.
Love that.
Can we not are you not thinking you got one call right on the court? And I get wanting to get it right, but at what point, when is too much?
Yeah.
At some point, it's got to be too much. It's insane. And then again, that buzzer beater. You rarely you see him go to the monitor to check time unless it's normally to see if they got it off.
Right.
Just get out of the stadium. Just leave. No one wants you here. Go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the stoppage in play, like you wonder why guys are, 2 of 13 or 1 of 9 from the field. Yeah, because I mean they can't just go out there and play basketball. You got to stop every 3 seconds. It feels
Well,
like.
Igor did airball a 3 late in the game.
Yeah, Igor had a rough night. He did have 14 boards though. He did pick up the slack in that regard. I think that's what top programs do is, if you have
He
a
had
guy
that.
that's off, let's impact the game another way. And he was able to pick up the slack for Agpara being on the bench.
It was him that had, again, watching on my phone, very difficult. It was him that had what looked to be the game-winning dunk before they shot free throws, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that was way earlier than I thought. Gee, that was at a minute 30. Tennessee scored their 64th minute, a minute 30 left. Ugh.
I thought another guy who played really well was Dubar. He only played 16 minutes, but he had that big 3 that was huge. Had 5 rebounds in those 16 minutes, had a block, 5 points. I thought he, again, kind of picking up for Agpara being out and Tennessee just not having a ton of front court depth. Him coming in there and just playing really well was super beneficial, I think.
You felt his presence, and I think that's what you're going to need from him is you're looking to build some depth on this team as you're just a few days away from conference play. So to feel his presence, I think is a big positive. Not, what will his next outing look like? We don't know yet. We haven't seen him play back-to-back games, really. Certainly not quality minutes in back-to-back games. So I'd like to see him build off this and continue making his presence felt. If we can get a 5.5 rebound game from him, 1 block, let's have it. That would be great for our bench production.
Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of how he's used throughout the entire year. Is he somebody that's going to continue to get more opportunities the better he does, or is that kind of his role is 10 minutes or so? I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of how that works. I mean, Agpara was a non-factor last night.
Part of that being he was only able to play for 9 minutes.
Right. Yeah, I guess when you're going to the free throw line every possession, I mean, I probably wouldn't want to play either, honestly. But that is a really good Illinois team. They have 2 guys that are going to be selected in the first round of the NBA draft. In Kasparis, you get it, Jack something. And then Will Riley, 2 guys that are going to be top draft picks. So I think that's a really good team. They got beat by Alabama and I think Northwestern. But
maybe they've also beaten Arkansas.
Yeah, the Northwestern loss was, I think, a tough one, but I think they got out physicaled by Northwestern. I think Brad Underwood was talking about that, and they kind of refused. Northwestern was in overtime. They kind of refused to get bullied by Tennessee, and that's why I think it was a rock fight.
I guess that's why it was that physical of a game.
Yeah. And it's tough to win on the road at a place that you're the number 1 team in the country. You're getting the best shot of everybody. You have a crowd that is dying to storm the court.
Dying.
Yeah. And
we saw people tightening their shoes up late in the half, getting ready to go.
To see all those morons surrender Cobra as soon as Jordan Gainey's shot went down was lovely.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, take notes, Nico. That's what silence in a crowd looks like. Let's see if you can muster some of that up. Call Jordan this week. Talk it over with him. Hey, and listen, I'm okay if Columbus is a rock fight too, if it needs to be.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
And Tennessee has, I think, 3 straight home games before they start. Well, I guess 4 if you count Arkansas, but three home games before they start SEC play. And so you would think Tennessee's probably going to be 13-0 before they start SEC play.
You would
I don't know
think,
if
you would think that's how it plays out, and you would hope. Don't let one of your slip ups be here. Now, you've made it this far. Don't let one of them be here. I really don't know what kind of teams Western Carolina, MTSU, or Norfolk State have. Don't let it be teams that can beat you, though.
Yeah, Western Carolina is 3-6, MTSU 7-3, and Norfolk State is 6-6. So
again, don't know what kind of program Belmont has, but normally a pretty good program. They beat MTSU by just 3.
Okay.
Looks like it was. Oh, no, never mind. Okay. Yeah.
Keep winning.
Excited Tuesday night. Western Carolina comes to Thompson Bowling Arena. That's right. The rightful name. Fired up to this will be their first home game as the number 1 team. I imagine it'll be I know it's Western Carolina, but I gotta think there's so much momentum and excitement. Probably be a pretty good crowd for what you'd normally get for Western Carolina.
Yeah. How rough is it for other conferences knowing that the SEC is now the best conference in basketball too?
Yeah. I think Oklahoma and Texas, just based on money and name, are very happy with the switch this year. Which it is crazy. I think this year football, and we talked about this actually on Voluntary Action for a brief minute, like football is not a clear-cut dominant conference just at the top. Like there's a lot of teams that aren't necessarily SEC that have a chance to win a national championship, a legitimate chance. Obviously, when you go down the list, it probably is the SEC for the most part. Once you get to those people not competing for national championship, but as like the power that it normally is in football, it's pretty crazy that now you obviously have baseball. Since is it an SEC winner since 2017?
Feels right. Who would that have been?
So,
well, yeah. I mean,
Vandy win like because Vandy won their 2 really close together, and their last one was in 19. Is that right?
What are we talking about?
Baseball.
Oh, baseball. Okay. I thought we were talking about football. I was like, well, Michigan won it last year.
No, not baseball. So it's been since 2019. Florida won in 17. Oregon State won in 18. So that wasn't SEC, obviously. And then since 19. So the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because 2020 was canceled, it has been SEC.
Okay.
So yeah, you have that obviously. And then this year, you don't have
and the baseball is just getting worse. Like, it's all. I think the transfer portal is even like solidified. Like, oh, I'm gonna go here, and then like I can maybe get to a SEC program.
You also added Texas in baseball, which you added another legit program. So that doesn't help it any. But yeah, it's pretty crazy that obviously we'll see how this year shakes out. But 3 of the top 5, I think. Is that right? 3 of the top 5 basketball are SEC.
Yeah.
And then 5 of the top 10. Alabama, Florida. Yep. 5 of the top 10. Hate that for you guys. And I don't really care. Like I want all those teams to suck, to be honest. Right. But it's more enjoyable to say that when you're sitting at number 1. Or if you were if you're in Kentucky, Auburn, Florida's position, and you're like, I mean, we're just in a really good conference. Like we'd be this and this if we weren't. Like you would probably say that
Gonzaga can never say. But
right.
Yeah.
If this was a Conzo Martin Tennessee team, I'd be like, this sucks so much. This is going to be a miserable year. But it's not.
I
We're
did see
number
a
one.
tweet today, and I guess this can be a stupidity, but somebody was like, it's really funny to see Tennessee at 1, knowing that Auburn could beat this Tennessee team by 15. I'm like, what? Where have you gotten that? Yeah, Auburn's a good basketball team, but
it is certainly no thanks to Ohio State.
Yeah,
they pants them yesterday.
Yeah, and Ohio State's 2 best players left. One of them went to Tennessee. So,
but yeah, Ohio State's not good, but it doesn't help that you have a team like Ohio State getting beat by 40.
It is fun. It is nice to hear a coach be like, "Yeah, we lost, but we only lost by 2. They've been blowing out everybody else." It's cool to have like moral victories from opposing teams when they play Tennessee.
Right.
You have a really good basketball program if that's
sure.
happening.
And I'll give Auburn their due. They've played some tough games, and then they've made the situations harder on themselves. I mean, not every team has to land a flight because you get in a brawl in the back of the plane.
Right. Yeah. Adversity.
And honestly, to then go and beat Houston the next night, hand up. That's solid. That's impressive. That's a lot going on to go then go win a basketball game.
There's some fight in them for sure.
Definitely. But sure, Auburn, impressive schedule, some impressive wins, but you have something Tennessee doesn't have right now, and that's a loss.
I feel like we always have to play at Auburn.
Yeah, I know. When's the last? I think we played a home game in 2018 when we split the title with them.
Yeah,
it feels like the last time we played them at home.
We played them. Was that at home when we were in Vegas?
We played him at home in 2022.
Okay.
I think. Maybe that was 2023.
I mean, we play at Florida, at Texas, at Auburn, at Oklahoma, who's number 13 right now, at Kentucky, at Texas A&M, at number 19 Ole Miss. I mean, good God.
Let me drop this one for you real quick. Tennessee played Auburn 2023. They did play him at home. February 4th. I don't know if we were in Vegas or not for that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I don't remember this game, and I can see why. The final was 46-43. Can you guess what the over-under was?
I don't have no clue.
124. That final was 40. Vegas does not know all, apparently. You did not know about that rock fight.
That was the end of the game where they tried to chuck it up, and we went.
Yeah, they tried to draw a foul.
Hands up. Yeah.
Josiah Jordan James led all scorers with 15 points and 14 rebounds.
Jeez.
Jonas, he did have 7 rebounds. I was going to say Jonas Adu's stat line.
Did we play Auburn last year at home? Now that I say that, I'm pretty sure that's when Dalton Connect hit one over Janai Broom. I think it was at home.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense that we're playing them away.
Yeah. It just feels like we're always playing at Auburn. I don't know why.
Even when it's a home game, it feels away.
Yeah.
That was Dalton Connect's 38 points. Yeah. That was a home game.
This team's fun to watch, man. I've enjoyed this team. Somebody asked me last night, they're like, did you see this team being that good? And my honest answer was no. I especially this early. Like I thought with all those, moving parts that they had, all the transfers, that it would take them time to gel with one another. But I think it just kind of goes to show like the culture and the guys like Rick Barnes brings in. It seems like he brings guys in for a reason. Like Not just because they're really good, but like they have to fit a
Right.
certain kind of mold to be on this basketball team. And so,
For sure.
yeah, I honestly, like with them losing Dalton Connect, I didn't think Jordan Gainey would be that good. Honestly, I didn't know what to think about the transfers. I didn't think Igor would be as good as he has been. I think
Right.
Zakai and Jemai, like those guys, I feel like you kind of know what you're going to get out of them. And so I was confident in them. I thought Tennessee would be a decent team. I thought they'd be really good defensively, but I just had no clue about offense.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
all.
you obviously lost so much production with Dalton Connect. And I think that's the big piece that I was unsure of. I was like, I think this team can be better overall, like a better, more rounded team, not better as in terms of record or producing. But I
Mhm.
thought they could be a more well-rounded team. The big question was who's going to fill in. Oh, I mean, let's just be honest about the kind of player Dalton Connect was as far as filling in what he brought to any team to the Tennessee team last year, like unfillable shoes. Like it's a talent that you're not going to run across in a long time. Like you can't ask to go recreate that magic. So a lot of questions there. I do also, I mean, this team has played impressively. To go and beat Virginia in the manner you do, to beat Baylor the next night. Obviously, the Syracuse home win. Syracuse isn't the Syracuse of old, but it was dominating fashion. You beat Miami in Madison Square Garden. You beat Illinois on the road as the number 1 team. But I think when you look at the schedule, you're like, I'm not shocked that we're happy where we're at. I'm shocked we're 10-0. I'm shocked we're number 1. But I'm not shocked that we're happy where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I did not I thought Tennessee, like if they were 4th in the SEC, I probably wouldn't have been surprised. And they
Right.
might very well be there, but right now I think it's like
I think Tennessee
honestly, I didn't know how good the SEC was going to be.
right. I think Tennessee has a chance to be 4th because I think it's going to be a 4-man race until February. Like I think it'll be an all-out brawl until then, and it's going to probably come down. It's like it'll probably be a regular season split again because we can't figure out scheduling because we have 16 teams and a month and a half to play those games. But yeah, I think it'll be a really close race at the top, which makes that Arkansas game very, very critical to open SEC play. You then have Florida on the road right after, who will probably be at the top of that race. I don't think Texas will be at the top of that race, but they could be. So that's another important game. Then you have Auburn, Kentucky back to back there with another Florida game. And then before that run, you have Mississippi State, who's looks to be solid, and they were a hiccup last year multiple times. So it is going to be a very, very tough SEC road. But I'm interested to kind of it won't shock me if we hit some growing pains. Either beginning of the SEC play or if we don't get a rotation in 6 or 7 games in, you might find some stumbling points. That won't surprise me that much. But I think overall we'll be very happy come February.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Put yourself in a good position to win a national championship. That's what the regular season's for. I think Tennessee's doing just that. And yeah, looking forward to getting into conference. It's crazy we're already almost to conference play.
Yeah. And this question was posed after the Miami game. Is Tennessee peaking too early? You can never peak too early. You can only peak too late, and you can come down from the peak too early. You can never peak too early. If you're playing good basketball, you're playing good basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come down from it. Don't come down from it too early. And hey, you certainly haven't peaked too late, so that's good.
Well,
you don't want to be playing your best basketball in May. That's the thing.
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
Probably one of the more like pro potential prospects on this team is hurt right now in Cam Carr. So, I mean, does this team only get better when he comes back? I don't know. I don't know what his role looks like, but I'm excited to see it.
Have they said what his timeline looks like?
I thought they said he would be back like a couple weeks.
Okay.
So I thought around like the beginning of conference play is what I thought,
Okay.
but we'll see, I guess.
We certainly will see. That's a known.
Well, I mean, like Barnes has always kind of been like very like if a guy's not 100%, they usually don't go very often. So I think when he's back, he's fully back.
Yeah.
Ronnie brought up the Dubar and him making some huge buckets in the second half and needed them. Yeah, I mean he reminds me of like a kind of an Admiral build. Does that make sense? You get kind of that same vibe. I mean, obviously like two totally different players, but body type, it's kind of like, are you a post or are you a guard? I don't know what you are.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Because yeah, he is a big dude. And he's absolutely ripped. Scary dude. First guy off the bus, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely has that build. I was excited for him up to this point. He's been a little underwhelming, which I know there's maybe some non-basketball factors that have potentially impacted both, obviously, his practice with the team, but also maybe his opportunities with the team in games, and then maybe how he's played. So I'd really like to see him put together some stuff and be a bigger rotational piece. We'll see if that ends up being the case with him. I don't know if he is ever going to be enough to take away minutes from someone. So I mean, ideally, he's only playing like max 10 minutes a game. So if you can just find good 10 minutes, that's you could be a legend. Like just find that.
Yeah. Yeah, last night was fun.
Do that.
And I think it was big to win kind of the way you did because you haven't had a game like that so far this season. So to kind of get that tough rock fight road environment win over a good basketball team before conference play, I think is pretty big for this basketball team.
Oh, I absolutely agreed. It's always good to learn to win that way. We had a few years they were the heart attack kids.
Yeah, it feels
games.
good to not have a ton of these games so far too. I don't want to. I don't want you to mishear me on that. Like I despise having a ton of those games, but it is nice when you win one every now and then.
But when it comes down to crunch time in the season, you want to be well cooked in those. Like you want to be used to it. You don't want to be overdone though by tournament time.
Sure. All right. Anything else before this? I did think it was hilarious. Jordan Gainey makes that bucket at the end, and they were so whistle heavy until that point. I mean, that was an and one.
It was an and one, and then you've got a technical foul. So you got a technical foul on the opposing fan.
Yeah,
I guess
is that
if you shove a player, you better be in the third row if you're upset they're touching you. If you have courtside seats and a player runs into you, you don't get the right to shove. Sorry. Don't get courtside seats. No one's forcing them on you.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I mean, I hope that person's banned for life.
Yeah, also like don't sit that close if you like hate to lose that much where you're going to shove a player. That doesn't make any sense because there's no way he shoves Chaz Lanier if they had just won the game.
True.
So
that's crazy behavior.
Yeah.
I promise you they didn't mean to run into you. They didn't want to get one over on you.
It is really cool to kind of have like that, like Chaz Lanier does that. Yeah, the guys they chirp a little bit. and then they get right back to celebrating. It is kind of like a dull moment, but then they get right back to, oh yeah, I mean, we just won the game. Who cares about that guy? I love that he didn't get all the attention that he wanted in that moment.
Yeah. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I think if you do that kind of, that's what started the malice in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
You want another situation like that, Illinois? Done, gone, out of there forever.
Dubar, you do not want that.
No. The Malice in the Palace video where they get into it on that what's that documentary style series they do?
30 for 30?
No, the Netflix one.
Oh,
they did Johnny Manziel and whatever it is.
Yeah.
They have the slow-mo they showed over and over again of like the cup flying from like 6 rows back. Crazy. Yeah, that person's insane too. Listen, if the players come up in the third row celebrating a win, I'll give you permission. Do whatever you want. But you want to brag to everybody about your courtside seats until shit gets hot. And then you can't handle yourself. You're not composed.
Yeah, and if they knocked over a drink, you should have had that thing drank a long time ago.
Yeah, and you're not Spike Lee. You don't get to talk shit to players.
No.
I don't even think he does, but it did make for another legendary 30 for 30. So we'll accept it.
Yeah. That's another thing. Jemai, 4 steals. That was he's. I think I read a tweet earlier. I don't remember who it was, or I'd give them credit, but they're like, yeah, Zakai and Chaz Lanier are superstars, but Jemai Meshack is the heart and soul of that basketball.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're getting into territory of him being just the kind of thing that makes the engine tick. Like you have, well, I mean, I think that's just part of being a team, right? Like this team couldn't do what they do without Zakai or Chaz. That's been clear, but like, don't forget about Jemai. Like that's, he's equally as important as those guys in different areas.
Yeah, I mean that Kasparis, Nonis. I don't know. He had 7 turnovers, and you know who was on him most of the night? Jemai Meshack. He did have 22 points, but they also gave him a nice whistle. He had 14 free throws as well. So,
yeah, and what was the foul? Do you know what the foul count was at halftime?
I don't.
I think it was much different than the final, because I don't know if you saw. I mean, the final foul count was Tennessee.
Well, I mean, at some point, Barnes was probably like, "Hey guys, can we like stop with the fouls? Like, we don't have anybody left on our bench to play. We're out."
Yeah, it's quite it. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you say about it at this point that hasn't been said. So,
I mean, Tennessee shot the ball horribly, and somehow Illinois just shot it worse. So, respect to the defense.
You love that.
Yep.
Defense travels, meaning a pack of junkyard dogs.
Yeah, let's travel Saturday too to Ohio State.
Oh my gosh. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm starting to get nervous. So I'm like, let's just get to Saturday and play the game, and whatever happens kind of happens at this point.
Yeah. One, I've been talking about it a little bit, and I feel like this isn't the wrong thing, but like there is a part of me is just like, man, I'm just kind of happy to be here. Yeah, like I want to go win, but I'm also like, this is the goal. Like I want to go win for sure. I want to keep winning and keep winning and keep winning, but like I don't want to kind of take it for granted. Like being in the college football playoff is a huge step in the right direction for Josh Heupel and his football program.
Yeah, you're 3 wins away from playing for a national championship. And I don't think that's wrong to like, yeah, I'm happy we're here. I certainly don't want that to be the feeling come Saturday. Like You want to compete. You want to be when the clock starts to wind down, like you want to be in a position to win it. If not, go ahead and just win it. So I mean, yeah, I don't think that's a bad like take or a bad opinion. I'm with you. I just don't want that. Like, I kind of want that feeling to be gone Saturday, and I don't want the team to ever have that feeling. Like, I just want to win. I just like,
Sure.
that's it. Like, win it all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win at all costs. Like, give me field side seats for this game. I'll pull Mike Tomlin. I'll gladly trip anyone returning a kick. Like, I don't care what it takes. This is win at all cost.
Yeah.
Plant the flag. What else can you not do in Ohio? What else is a felony in Ohio? We'll just do it all. We'll round it out. And Mike Pence from Ohio, he's a coward anyways. He can't do anything right. No, he's not gonna be able to indict us.
Yeah, maybe we can ask Ross Kivett. He's probably done some illegal things in Ohio.
Hey, we don't talk about tequila night. Yeah, it's I agree with Ronnie. You are kind of playing with house money here. I mean,
I just think you can play with no pressure. Honestly,
I hope that's the feeling. I mean that should really be every team's feeling. Like, that should be Ohio State's feeling, because right now you're ready to fire your head coach. So like, what more could go wrong? Might as well go. Like, that should be how they feel, and it should be how every team feels. Like, you're 3 wins away from playing for a national championship. I really want that team to. I want that team to have the attitude of like, I'm glad we're here, and if we win, like, that's icing on the cake. Cake without icing sucks. So let's make sure we get that. It's a tough position, because you can't take these moments for granted as a fan. Even like, it's fun, but also really competitive, and I really care about Tennessee football in an unhealthy way, and so I really really want to win.
Need to win.
That's the better word to use. Yeah, need to.
What was your favorite moment from the regular season? We can do can be a personal one. It can be a play. It can be a tailgate.
Yeah. Probably the Alabama game. And I don't know if any moment sticks out more than others. The should have been safety was sick. That was a fun play. The defense just played great all game. I mean, they had crowned Jalen Milroe a Heisman contender just weeks prior.
Right.
He had a Legends card on NCAA before that. Now, he did lose to Vanderbilt before that. But they still thought it was a Kalen DeBoer thing, not a Jalen Milroe thing, and I think Tennessee helped put some of that hype to bed. That throw that Nico made to Dante Thornton on the sideline, that was incredible to watch. I think the Alabama game as a whole, and you can wrap in a few special moments there. A few other highlights, just Dylan Sampson's season, and did it so just quietly. Like, it was just a workhorse churning it. And now I think we got to go just any Boo Carter punt. I wish he'd return one for a touchdown and quit getting tackled by kickers, but it is electric up until that moment.
Yeah. I think mine would be probably the Alabama game as well. I think that one-handed interception from Jamal McCoy in the end zone is, I mean, I think defensively that might be the kind of turning point in the season where you're like, okay, all right. Yeah, the Arkansas game sucked, but hey, we kind of control our own destiny from here on out.
Oh, yeah, when you beat Alabama, I know we were, even after that, we were still ready to resign the playoff because of other teams' records at that point. But once you beat Alabama, somewhere in your heart, you were like, this is a team that'll be playing the playoffs.
Yep. The NC State game was fun because we thought they were going to be good, and we just beat the crap out of them. Will Brooks had a pick six.
That was nasty.
That was before Will Brooks was a household name, so that was cool. Also his interception at Alabama.
Yep.
I think that pass to Brazel against Alabama when they put him in the slot was because it was right in front of us in the end zone. So you kind of got to see the play develop. I think personal wise, like me just going down to the field after that with my dad, who didn't get to in 2022, that was a really cool moment for us. Found a mouthpiece.
Haven't found out whose it is?
No clue. It's Deuces now.
I did get a text today from someone, and it was a screenshot of you and your family at the wedding, and it said, I've never seen Tracy Raby not in orange.
That's funny. He probably had orange socks on.
Probably. We should have checked them.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm trying to think. Like going to Arkansas was cool. It sucked that the game turned out though, but like we did have
That's
any kind of like road trip is.
I'm gonna miss a lot of things about away games. I'm never gonna get to relive again.
I'm trying to think of what else, like some specific plays. I think just the comeback against Vanderbilt was because I was in a world of hurt when it was 14-0. I was like, oh my God, this can't be how it ends.
I was really happy that Henley Street was just a half mile away. It would have been an easy jump.
Ooh, that's a good one. Landon said watching Heupel get choked up in the locker room after the Oklahoma win. Yeah, that was really cool.
The Oklahoma win is up there because I had no faith in this team on the road at night.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. Like, you can argue they went back to their ways in 2 weeks or whatever, but to do that against Oklahoma, and I know that Oklahoma team ended up not being very great, but it's still an impressive win and an impressive environment, and you have another opportunity to do that this week.
Yep. Seeing Dante Thornton just outrun everybody when he catches a slant is awesome to see too.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a weapon they really need to use. Really need to use this week. If not use him to, actually catch and run, at least use him enough to make Ohio State have to defend him with two guys. Like, make a safety have to play over top of him, take them away from the play.
Agreed.
I mean, Kentucky game's always fun. It's just fun, just beating up on them.
Black uniforms.
Georgia first quarter was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Seeing in overtime against Florida, all Dylan Sampson had to do was just kind of like take a step in the end zone and just kind of stop.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yep. That Florida game, it gets forgotten by me a lot because it was so frustrating and awful for 60 minutes. Obviously, the overtime worked out how it should, and I resigned that one to the back of my mind after that.
Yeah.
But Tennessee had to kind of claw their way through. That was a rock fight that Tennessee had to just find a way to win, and they did.
Yeah, and Tennessee just was to that point, I guess from like Alabama on, Nico wasn't fantastic other than that. Some games he should be, and then NC State he was good in. But his run against Alabama, that kind of was the turning point for him. And I guess you could argue for the team as well. But from then on, the offense has ran at a different pace since that. I don't know if we can give all the credit to Nico, or we could give it to Gaston Moore for that interception that he threw.
Gaston Moore has we've said this all along. We knew it would happen. It was just a matter of when, not if. Mm-hmm. Gaston Moore has taken this Tennessee team and this Tennessee offense to new heights.
He is the my humps of this football team. He got them going.
Yes. Thank you for explaining the joke to those out there that didn't get it. I got it, but thank you for explaining it to everyone else. I appreciate that. That was nice of you. I really don't want this football season to be over. I would like to worry about basketball. I would like to be doubly stressed by basketball and football next week as well.
I like that.
That would be
Yeah,
a
let's just see how. I mean, we did it with baseball. See how long you could play games. Let's just
Yep.
do the same thing with football and basketball.
Let's win so many games in football that we're playing all three at the same time. I know that's not possible, but we can try.
Yeah, get close.
What comes after national championship? You go probably play some random team in China for a world championship.
Pro Bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Who's been your most surprised player so far this season?
I mean, it's got to be Will Brooks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think pleasantly surprised. Like I'm not shocked by it exactly, but Jermon McCoy.
Okay.
Shocked probably isn't quite the right word, but probably in the category of shocked to pleasantly surprised. Tyree West is somewhere in there. I didn't see him being as big of an impact as he's been. Offensive side of the ball, Deshaun Bishop. I hope he can get him back to 100% for let him and Peyton Lewis be the number two, however they decide to split that. I think probably the effectiveness of Dante Thornton's shocked me.
Yeah, I think just how effective he is compared to everybody else,
right,
is shocking. And it's probably kind of negative, but
well,
I thought the wide receivers would have had a better year. Whether that's on play calling, whether that's on them, it's a combination of everything. They just haven't had a fantastic year and lit the world on fire that maybe some of us expected them to. But yeah, Dante Thornton, after the year he had, pleasant surprise. I think another guy that really has kind of figured it out is Joshua Josephs. I think he's probably been probably the most disruptive player on that defense. James Pierce is up there because he leads, I think, the nation in pressures, but just from a production standpoint, I think Joshua Joseph is really benefiting from James Pierce being opposite of him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I do have some wonderful, wonderful breaking news, Landon.
Okay.
The Pop-Tart Bowl, the 2024 Pop-Tart Bowl trophy has an operational toaster built into the trophy.
Oh, that's cool.
You can not only win a Pop-Tart Bowl, you can also get fresh Pop-Tarts from the trophy you win in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Are Pop-Tarts like the most underrated snack?
See, I like that you said snack because a lot of people, they go to the wayside after breakfast. I don't know where this thinking comes from, but guys, you can eat those things 247, 365. I mean, anytime, anywhere. They're like BYU in 2020. You take them everywhere. Last minute, grab and go. It rocks.
They're so much better than a Nature Valley bar.
Oh, yeah. Probably loaded with lots more sugar and other unhealthy chemicals that RFK is trying to get rid of, RFK Jr., but screw that guy. Pop-Tarts rock. And if that's political, sue me.
What's your favorite Pop-Tart?
So two different categories of favorite. Favorite, like I get all the time. It's going to be there at the grocery store all the time. Usually at my house. I actually don't have any right now, unfortunately. It's the brown sugar cinnamon. Easy. But my all-time favorite, will get it if they've got it, which has been more rare lately, by the way. I don't know what's going on, but it's the wild berry.
Okay. I like the wild berry is one that I would get every time for sure.
But they don't have it every time. And they don't have it in the large boxes either.
But my all-time favorite
bang for your buck
is strawberry milkshake. It's so good.
Sorry.
You're not a fan?
Wow. It's not bad. I haven't had a Pop-Tart I just hate.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like the milkshake flavor in there really throws me off.
Okay.
But another one that I would compare to it. Have you had the Apple Jacks Pop-Tarts?
I don't think I have.
They're pretty good. If you like Apple Jacks, they're pretty good. But there's something about the flavor that is just like slightly off to me. Like I just don't really care much for it.
I had a cannoli flavored one time, and it was good.
I didn't
But
know cannoli was a flavor.
Yeah, I don't think it is very often, but
No, I didn't know like it was a flavor at all. I thought cannolis were just
okay.
in general like pastries that could
cannoli.
be filled with
Yeah.
anything. I
Right.
didn't realize it was a flavor of something. Yeah, man, there's a lot of Pop-Tarts out there. I bet there's some real obscure ones, but yeah, I think brown sugar cinnamon it's kind of like Uncrustables. What's your favorite flavor of Uncrustable?
Strawberry. I'm a whore for some strawberry. I love strawberry.
Strawberry is good. I just think grape is fantastic, and I think it's just it's the OG PB&J.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you can ever go wrong. Like they have a Nutella, and I like Nutella. I thought it'd be awesome. No, that Uncrustable sucks. Don't get it. Strawberry's
Really?
good. Don't get me wrong. Oftentimes I'll buy one strawberry and one grape at the same time, so I can mix it up if I'm feeling frisky. Uncrustables too are something that I feel really dumb buying because I'm like, I can make these at home, but they're also so delicious that I'd rather just buy them.
Do you freeze them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No. If
that's the only way I do it. Freeze it and then put it in the microwave for like 10 seconds, and then
see, I don't prefer it hot. What I'll do is like, usually if I'm eating them, I'm going to the golf course and then I'll just throw them in my bag on my way out the door. Wait till they thaw out. Or if I know I'm going to have one like in the morning, just on my way out the door, I'll throw it in the fridge overnight so it'll completely thaw, but it'll be cold. But if I heat it up, I'm going like 45. 45 is too long. 20 to 30 seconds, and I'm getting that thing piping hot. That butter is just smooth. Peanut butter is smooth.
Peanut butter warm is
and that jelly is like you have to let it cool off because that jelly is just
will burn your face
hot.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm heating it up in the microwave, that thing's it's coming with a warning label when it comes out.
Yeah.
Hot fudge sundae is good. Here's my problem, Landon Allen, with hot fudge sundae. The hot fudge sundae in like what I call the gas station wrappers, where you buy the individuals, you either buy them from gas station or you buy them from a vending machine. Pop-Tarts in gas station wrappers suck. Any kind. If they don't come in the aluminum foil colored ones, like out of like a family box, I'm not eating
it. The same.
It just there's something about that flavor. It doesn't do it. It's
like
kind of like
Oreo one too, I think.
Yeah. Reese's. My take on Reese's is I would love a king size Reese's. You get double the Reese's, but I think they're better in the 2-pack. I don't know what factory they make the king size at. It's not the same factory they make the regular at, I guess, because they're not the same.
Yeah. Love Pop-Tarts. No free ads, but Pop-Tarts, you rock. Pop-Tart bowl, you also rock.
Yeah. If you would want to send us a Pop-Tart mascot, we'll wear it on the show for the entire bowl season.
And there you go. Okay. Ball's in your court.
Yep. I would whore myself out for some Pop-Tart money. I mean, anything you want, I'm yours. Free Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tart money, I'm in.
Yeah. Also, if y'all got a chance, if y'all follow us on Twitter, you probably saw where we teamed up with a new company, and that company is Hovey Dry Goods. And they got fantastic hats. They're the hats that you want to wear every single day. So go check them out. Use promo code MORE for 15% off your entire purchase. So go check them out. Plenty of time. Well, not plenty of time, I guess. Time's ticking for Christmas gifts. So you better go ahead and
do it now.
Make those purchases now. Again, use promo code MORE for 15% off at Hovey Dry Goods. And they're the ones that have, I think you've seen Tony Vitello wear the smoky or just like the dog outline that is smoky. They come in white and gray. They also have some other Tennessee hats and stuff. I think they had a feels like 98, but really great hats and really great quality that I think everybody in your family will love. So go check them out. Again, use promo code MORE for 15% off that entire purchase.
Use more if you want to spend less.
Okay, I like that. You add that in the ad read there.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Transfer portal. And I know we talked kind of about all the transfers the other night, but there was one more addition to that. And probably Tennessee's most productive player that's entering the transfer portal, and that's Cam Seldon. Running back was a sophomore out of Virginia, 6'2", 222. I think he dealt with some injuries while he was here, and for whatever reason, it just did not work here at Tennessee.
Right.
He, I think he was kind of raw when he came in, like wasn't prepared. And I just think when you're going and getting raw talent like that, guys with the transfer portal, guys aren't willing to wait. I think he could have been a good player for Tennessee. I would like to see him kind of another year to see if he could be a lead back. But I think Peyton Lewis and Deshaun Bishop they were more productive than him. And, I thought he was good, a couple of games ago when we thought he was going to redshirt. Peyton Lewis goes down. He comes in and plays really – I think that was against Mississippi State. Played pretty well. But, probably kind of saw the writing on the wall. It just wasn't going to be at Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that is Tennessee. And there may be some surprises when Tennessee season ends here in a month and a half or so. Maybe some surprises that jump in the portal, but I think that's the silver lining right now is you don't want to see some of the talented guys leave, but it also everybody leaving. It just makes sense. It all looks like it's for find a place where they can play, and that's it. Like it seems pretty cut and dry what the reasonings are as of right now.
Yeah, and it is pretty interesting to have, we all kind of freak out about signing day and everything. But Tennessee's signing class from a couple years ago, that signing class with Cam Seldon, I think they signed 26 players. I think 13 have entered the transfer portal.
Yeah. It's a different era.
Yeah. So it is what it is. You try to develop those guys. Hopefully they can, by their sophomore year, if they're probably not playing, they're probably on their way out. Unless they kind of have a clear spot for them their junior year. But if at that point, if they're already if they haven't redshirted, if they haven't played in 2 years, they've kind of burnt that red shirt. I guess that means they have played, but not meaningful snaps or anything like that. And I just don't see them being a part of the program. It just is what it is, kind of like you said.
Yep.
Alex Moxon said, "You guys coming up to Ohio?" We kind of looked at tickets. I don't know.
I would really like to. I think it is going to be best for me to cheer on Tennessee in Knoxville.
Yeah, I'm
for a lot of reasons, money being one of them, time being another, and the fact that I could be a curse, also another one.
Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, I want Tennessee to win, so I care more about them winning than I do going to that football game.
Yes. I want to go, but I'm going to take one for the team. I'm not going to be selfish.
Okay, when Tennessee wins,
that's the problem. I don't know if I can go to the Rose Bowl after that. Yeah. I don't know if I can go to the semifinal. And then I really don't know if I can go to the national championship if I don't go to this game. So I am, Alex, considering that possibility, which means I would have to go to this one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to continue to look at tickets, and if they're coming down that much, which I haven't really even looked at the prices, I honestly don't know, but it is
I saw plenty for
place.
like $250 yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a 5-hour drive, right?
Yep.
If I didn't have people I cared about either, that Christmas stuff happening, that'd make it easier too. And they all are like, "We understand, you can go." I'm like, yeah, but kind of makes me feel like a jerk a little bit.
Yeah. I think my dad's really wanting to go, so I don't know. I may look tonight. I might just decide to just whatever. Yeah, I mean, could be a once in a lifetime thing. I don't know. I would want to go to that stadium, and I think this would be like a time where it would. I'm talking myself into it. That's what I'm doing.
That's my problem is if I talk about it too long, like I am going to end up wanting to and probably going. And there's a lot of reasons I really shouldn't. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in a tough spot here. I don't know. We'll
figure it out after the show. Anything else with the transfer portal? I mean, Tennessee's had some. I think they had the Wisconsin defensive lineman take a visit, or is going to take a visit. You had the Northwestern offensive lineman. It just seems like they are going to really look at the portal for defensive and offensive linemen. It seems to be what they're targeting right now. I just wonder with Cam Seldon, does that kind of make you want to grab somebody out of the portal, or do you think, are you happy with Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, and the two freshmen? I mean, that's a young.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with them, but yeah, they're young, and then two guys have battled injury this year that you just listed off. I feel like you probably try to grab. I do think it's similar to what we've talked about. You just go and maybe you don't spend as much time in that area, but you go and you throw a couple things at the wall and see what sticks. Like you throw some offers out there, maybe try to get some guys in, but if you don't, don't sweat it. But I think you got to go try to get somebody in.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, they've targeted some offensive linemen. Wendell Moy from Arizona, who is originally from Long Beach, where Nico's from. James Thompson was the defensive lineman from Wisconsin. And then I think you had the LSU Jay Suggs, something like that. Another defensive lineman who started his career at Grand Valley State. Was really good there, transferred to LSU. LSU's getting a lot of transfers, and I'm just like, you're getting all these transfers. Brian Kelly is like kind of on the hot seat there.
Money talks, brother. That Children's Hospital money talks.
Dang. I mean, they got that Mississippi State, the Van Buren kid from Mississippi State, and I'm like, he's probably not even going to be the coach when, in 2 years when you're playing there. So
he'll just transfer again. Nothing again. Nothing. Doesn't say in the rules he can't.
It is crazy. Like I see it a lot more kind of in basketball where, this is their fourth team in 4 years. It's like, good God. Who was the Texas State quarterback? What was his name? He was at Auburn. And then he was at Texas State and then Western Kentucky.
Oh, TJ
Finley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I didn't realize he was at Texas State.
5 teams?
It would be really sweet, though, if he just went back to Auburn after all that. That would be awesome.
And KJ Jefferson's at Ole Miss?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't know KJ Jefferson was still playing football.
How the heck does he have any eligibility?
Where was he this year? Because I do actually remember UCF. I do remember seeing his name. I just couldn't remember where.
Yeah, but then he was at Arkansas, and then Arkansas.
He graduated high school in 2019. Who was it that had a there's an NFL quarterback that had been in the NFL for a few years, and they had their like timelines matched up together, and this dude was still playing college football while this guy had like 3 or 4 years in the NFL. It was insane. Does that ring a bell? Did you see it?
Say that again.
It was 2 quarterbacks who like graduated high school at the same time, and it might have been someone in CJ Stroud's class. That sounds right. So he's only been this is his 2nd year in the league, and this guy was still playing college football while CJ had 2 years in the league. Was he offensive MVP last year? Rookie offensive MVP, I think. Who was that?
I'm trying to think who was in that class. Oh, it was DJ Uyunglele.
Was it him?
Yeah, it had to be.
Which they're a year younger than KJ Jefferson. Who they were 2020 class.
That's crazy.
It might not have been CJ Stroud, but yeah, that's crazy. There's a version of Ultimate Team where you play like the computer and some challenges or something. And DJ Uyunglele was the quarterback I was facing. I was like, got in the bag, baby. We're good.
Eric Gilbert's in the transfer portal. That's
a
name
interesting.
We wouldn't see anymore, but
can we get him back now? Has that time passed? Would that be allowed?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Need to look that up. Him and Wanye Morris.
Yeah.
Come home.
I saw where Fan Run's doing that kind of like Columbus takeover. That'd be cool to do too. Sorry, I'm talking you into it, but I'm just still thinking about it.
No, I'm not worried. It'd be okay.
Alex Moxon said it's my boy's birthday on the 21st, so taking him. Wife is taking the other 2 to the bar down there to watch it. Well, that sounds like a great time.
Yeah, Alex did it, or he's doing it right.
Yeah, happy birthday. Let's go watch the Vols win a college football playoff game.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's any questions? If y'all have any questions, drop those in the chat real quick. We will get to those. What are you most fearful about this Ohio State team?
Their ability to gash us. I think you have athletes like that on the field that can be trouble. And then I think you mentioned their defense is really talented, and I think that's going to be, can you outlast them and can you score? You're going to have times with short fields. Like that's just the way football goes. Can you take advantage of those? But so I think it's just like the overall talent scares me.
Yeah.
That's really it, honestly. Well, there's more, but those are the biggest things I should say.
Yeah, I think them at wide receiver, it just makes me a little nervous. I like our corners, but
their wide receivers are guys who can take slants to the house. I mean,
yeah,
they have that kind of speed.
But yeah, like you said, they can gash you. They can catch a slant, take it to the house. They can, get people in good matchups. Like they can put Jeremiah Smith in motion to maybe get him off of Jermod McCoy, and he's lined up against a safety or a linebacker, and that's just a trouble matchup that I don't really want to see Tennessee get caught in a lot. So I think they'll probably play a lot of zone, or at least like man underneath and maybe zone over the top. I don't know. I'm interested to see kind of how they play those receivers, because when Will Howard has time, he does a good job of just getting them the football and letting them kind of do what they do. So Tennessee has to get pressure. If they don't get any pressure, I think this game is not going to be in Tennessee's favor at all.
Right. Yep. We'll see.
Who do you think Oregon would rather face? Do you think they'd rather face Ohio State or Tennessee?
I think they'd rather face Tennessee.
Okay.
Just playing that, they probably don't want to play a team they've already played once and beat once.
That makes sense.
I would think that would be my thought process when you have two pretty fairly comparable teams.
They probably don't want to play either. I mean,
No,
a lot of
probably
Oregon
not
fans are kind of
happy with-
upset about the draw, but you either have to face Dylan Sampson running the football or Judkins and Travion Henderson. And Oregon can't stop the run. So
yeah. Yep.
Ronnie said, is there any other team in the playoffs with a freshman quarterback? Why isn't it Nico getting credit for getting us there as a freshman?
I don't believe there is, correct?
No, I don't think so. I think all of them would be Will Howard's an upperclassman.
And Ronnie, that's a great question. It's a wonderful question.
I mean, it's
just, he'd get credit for the losses if Tennessee was 6-6.
Well, I mean, Tennessee is just not getting a whole lot of credit anyway.
Right.
Even if people are picking them to beat Ohio State, no one's picking them to beat Oregon too. So,
right.
Which is fine. No worries. All right, let's get to some most important.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got some most importance. Most important.
Yeah, I think my first one is our buddy Wes getting married last night.
Yeah, congrats, Wes.
Yes, sir.
We were worried about you, so we're really happy to see it. Landon gave a great best man speech last night. No, you guys will be shocked. He's not used to talking into a mic, but he did great.
Was it's a lot tougher talking in front of people I don't know than that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, did great.
They did send we got a cool video of it's a video of Wes and Natalie as I'm giving the speech and their reactions to all the stuff.
I bet Wes was sweating.
Oh yeah. You should have. I need to screenshot his face when I brought out the pink eye black stickers. It's pretty funny.
I don't know if I told you this. I know I told Wes and Nick in the bathroom after, and you were telling that story, and I'd forgot. Oh yeah, we did talk about it because you were saying it was too much to explain the Smokey thing. Because I had only remembered Smokey. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And so I'm not in my head. I'm just cackling at the thought of Smokey being written on there.
Yeah, I didn't really want to go into detail about his dog named Smokey, and it was just better to kind of leave that out. But Papaw's the one that it cracks me up, just like
the breast cancer. Yeah, I mean that's good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I won't give him too much crap tonight on here. He got plenty of it last night.
Yeah. Sorry, man. I mean, in fairness, he did tell me to give a speech without asking me to be in the wedding, knowing that was going to happen.
Right.
This was his doing. But yeah, congrats to him. That was my kind of most important. Those two.
It's a great most important. I mentioned mine earlier, but you always have Tennessee men's basketball ranked number 1, 10-0. Lady Vols are they 8-0 or 9-0 now. Regardless, the only two undefeated teams in college basketball are both men and women undefeated in college basketball, as well as the best start in Lady Vol basketball history. A very, very much a program rich in history. So for that to be the best start, it's pretty wild. But regardless, it was our queen, Kim Caldwell, to do it. That's pretty awesome. Speaking of our queen, do you see we got to hear from Dolly Parton. Sevier County did win the state championship a few nights ago. She gave a good congratulations to them. Anytime I get to hear Dolly talk, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
You're in? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fail of the week.
I'll
kick one off here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you heard who our officiating crew is for Saturday night?
I did, yes. Good God.
I don't even know how to say his name. Jerry McGollins. He was the official in the Virginia Tech Miami game this year, and then also the one that was failed to rule Miami down during the lateral win against Duke in 2015. So expect none of it to make sense Saturday night.
Yes.
Which we kind of expected, but it's one of those things. I didn't even look at any other games because I don't care. I'm biased. I want to know Tennessee. But man, if that's one of the best 12 you have in the country, I gotta think those other ones ain't pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, how do you put they pride themselves on punishing officials privately. So how does that guy who made that call, how does his crew have a college football playoff game in the same year? Because it's one thing if he just had the 2015 Duke-Miami one. But in the same year, he's going to get to call a college football playoff after that mess?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just swallow your whistle. How about that?
Yeah. Ronnie had Jordan Gainey. Might be the best player in the bench player in the nation as his most important. Yeah. He just may be sixth man of the year, some people are saying.
Hard to disagree. I did have a couple more most importants. I just want to go back real quick. So Levi on Twitter, I'll give him a shout out. He said this was a couple days ago. He said last night an Ohio State season ticket holder decided to give us his season ticket code for the pre-sale. Had to prove I was an Ohio State fan, so I photoshopped an Ohio State jersey on myself, and it worked. We're officially invading their section. That's awesome.
Crazy. Yeah, it is awesome.
And then Dick Vitale being cancer-free.
That I didn't see that. That's awesome. Good for old Dickie.
Yeah. The elevator man. My most important was going to be Brad Underwood. And again, we've mentioned that we did not disagree with him. Kind of thinking
it sounds like an accurate scouting report to me.
But we do have to do it because of what happened. So
yeah, we would call ourselves stupid if we did the same thing.
Yeah, he's not a ball handler. He's not comfortable doing that. He looked kind of comfortable.
He looked real comfortable as the ball went through the net.
Yeah.
My last fail of the week, we got to go to, is it Cheatham County, Tennessee? I believe is how you say it. I don't know if you saw any of this, but they got sued by the University of Cincinnati this week. They were using a bunch of likenesses, trademarked logos. They were the Bearcats. So this week, they officially changed their name to the Musketeers, which is the rival of Cincinnati. They are named after the Xavier Musketeers. Not only that, did they troll that way. Xavier's in on the action. They are collaborating with Xavier on this, and a marketing company who helps Xavier with all their branding will be giving Cheatham County the whole makeover. So, number one, I hate when teams just steal logos. So good for Cincinnati. On the second hand, this was the perfectly executed move by Xavier to be like, you can have our name and our logos, and we will spend lots of money to make it happen. Because screw the Bearcats. That rocks.
Like that. Yeah.
Musketeers, kind of lame name, but the way you got it, pretty sick. I mean,
pettiness
rocks.
Mm-hmm. College sports are the best. Nothing like it. All right, guys, if y'all are making the trip up to Ohio, I guess we'll be here Thursday, but some of y'all will probably already be making the trip. If you are, good luck. Give them hell. We may or may not be up there. We don't know.
Yeah, don't count on me, please.
Yeah. But thank y'all for listening, and we will be back on Thursday at Fox Sports Knox. Also got some more content coming to you pretty soon.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. Again, listen to us on Spotify, Apple Play, wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, where else? Instagram, Facebook, wherever you see us, that's where we're at. So we're on everything. So go check us out. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.